Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the Al-Tawbah series. Today's video is about why is music haram in Islam. So, simple question is music is not haram because Islam wants to restrict you, but it is forbidden because it protects your heart. Because do you think about it, the things that are forbidden in Islam, they're not forbidden just for the sake of restricting you and making your life unenjoyable, but they have a deeper reason for it, like in this case, protecting your heart. So, you may ask, where is the evidence? And we have evidence from the Holy Quran, the book revealed by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are the words of God. Allah says, "Among the people are those who buy idle talk to mislead from the path of Allah." And the companions like Ibn Masud said, this refers to music and singing, the term idle talk. It can refer to many things, but idle talk can also refer to music and singing. But there is another piece of evidence that we do have. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said from his own words that there will be people who make permissible zina, alcohol, and musical instruments. This is a hadith from Sahih al-Bukhari 5590. So, music was mentioned alongside major sins like zina and consumption of alcoholic beverages. That's not random, guys. Think about it. If something is mentioned along those like big sins, do you know how bad it must be to be mentioned among the likes of zina? You know what Allah says in the Quran about zina, guys? He doesn't say just don't do it. He says don't go near it. And the use of musical instruments is in the same hadith as zina. So the majority of scholars also say that instruments are haram. So this of course includes Hanafi, Shafi and Hanbali, based on strong hadith evidence. So you may wonder and you may ask yourself, then what is even allowed? And I have some good news for you guys. Not completely everything is forbidden. What is permissible are voice-only nasheeds. You can search this up on YouTube. Nasheeds are basically just kind of like it's not music, but it's only vocals. And the right nasheeds don't have any curse words or any talk about any bad things or things which are haram. It's just vocals. Or daf, the use of a single hand drum in weddings or during Eid. But instruments and distractions is where the danger is. So of course now modern day songs, they have multiple instruments, they have curse words. This is why it is haram. Because think about it, Allah doesn't only forbid the bad, He forbids as well the things that lead to the bad. Like for example, I'll give an example here. Allah could have only forbade drinking alcohol in very large quantities and said, okay, only drink 1 cup a day. He could have done that, but He didn't. Because He knows that if you drink 1 cup per day, eventually it can be 2 cups and then more. And then you can be addicted to the alcohol. In the same manner that it's not only the music with the curse words that's forbidden, but also the other music, the one that's maybe just simple but has instruments and it's like, oh, a little dancing, little here. The little things, even if it's not like that bad, it doesn't seem that bad compared to the big like haram things like drinking alcohol in large quantities or music that talks about very explicit things. It can always lead to the big thing. Again, it also plays back to that one example earlier about zina. Allah doesn't only say don't do it, He says don't go near it. So, another thing I just want to tell you guys is that music distracts you. It pulls your heart away from the Quran, the Salah, the Dhikr. These are things that are very important to your ibadah. The worship of Allah is very important, and music can distract you from it. So can alcohol, so can zina. These things will pull you further away from Allah. And this is also another one of the reasons why Allah has forbidden music. So, even the scholars say, if it makes you neglect ibadah, worship, it becomes haram, clearly haram. So the heart effect. So music isn't just sound. You may wonder, oh, it's just sounds, the bad words. Just listen to the ones without the bad words and so on and so on. But it attaches your heart to emotions and desires and this dunya instead of Allah. Just the rhythm of the instruments, it can change the way your mind works, the brain chemistry. Whatever fills your heart, it will control you. This is why you shouldn't immerse yourself in music. Try to stay as far away as possible. Because even these days, you can hear the music in the malls. It's commonly being played out. Try to not pay attention to it. Maybe don't go to these places that have music. So, of course, I just mentioned the brain effects, and you may be wondering, yeah, what are the brain effects? So, this one's actually really, really interesting. Music stimulates the brain's dopamine system. And as you guys may know, dopamine system is very important. Music stimulates it. Sweet food stimulates it, like chocolates and all. That's why it should be like really, really, really taken carefully. Because you guys know, if you start like eating chocolates, you can, or like listening to music, you can develop an addiction. The same system is linked to addiction. Like, yeah, the dopamine is the thing that rewards you for doing hard work. Like if you complete a task or you do something big, you get a hit of dopamine from the brain. This is like, it's one of the like coolest things ever, like how it works. But if you start to abuse the system, it can cause addictions. Because the dopamine spikes get way too big and the brain starts craving it more because the baseline will be higher. So for example, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, there's also music addictions. People may not notice, but then there's always some people that could possibly be like, they just tell you, oh man, I can't be anywhere without my music. Now you know what has happened to them. These are the effects that the brain has absorbed from the music. It causes dependency, constant craving. Sometimes you may just be sitting in a place and you may be humming a song. You may not even be like consciously doing it, just in the background. It can give you emotional highs and lows. Like for example, if you put on a sad song, you're like doing fairly well in life, it can make you feel sad. And if you're doing poorly in life and you really need like to lock in, you need to like realize your situation. But if you listen to happy music, it can subconsciously tell your brain everything is fine. And because of this, you may get into deeper trouble because your brain's like, oh, everything's fine. I don't need to work as hard. I don't need to focus on this job or on the studies. It can really have some really bad effects on the brain. So guys, please stay away from music. So the spiritual impact. The more music you consume, the less the Quran affects you. Because as you guys know, it's addicting. And the Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's one of those things which should be like reciting daily, studying, trying to understand it. But do keep in mind, there isn't place for both. So please put the Quran in your heart. Put it deep down in your heart. And try to avoid music as much as you can. One will take over. Make sure it's the Quran. So, the ending, the conclusion for this video. It's not about it being just a song. It's about your heart. It's about your spirit, your soul, and what you allow to shape. So, guys, I just want to remind you about this. If you leave something for the sake of Allah, if whether it may be music, whether it may be drinking or something else, whatever it may be, if it's a sin, if you leave it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then He will replace it with something unimaginably better. It can be good deeds in the hereafter. Maybe because of you quitting this one thing, you will enter Jannah. You never know. Or maybe you could, something was written that you will have to pay for a big damage. And then because you left something for the sake of Allah, Allah excused this thing from happening. He changed the path. That's all for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. If there are corrections to be made, they will be made in the comment section. That's it. Assalamu alaikum. Have a good day.